Well, the markets are back and everyone is turning bullish. He's bullish, she's bullish, you're bullish. Novogratz is bullish.
Novogratz is bullish.
Am I bullish? Well, cautiously bullish, because I think we are on the edge of the last hurrah of this cycle. So dang, Chico, why are you so cautious? We'll find out in around 10 minutes because it's time for Chico Crypto. So, pulling out the BTC price chart over the past 2 days, it does look dang bullish. A daily low close of below 32K June 8th to peaking above 38K as of yesterday. Just a 21% increase over 2 days. But you expand out that chart not over 2 days, but 2 months, and oh how the tables turn. This chart looks bearish as funk, as some people are calling the push up towards 40K over the past month a bearish triple top pattern, which means if we get rejected at 40K again soon, not the best news. Although many were calling the triple top pattern earlier, including the initial small dip below 40K, which would make this a quadruple top now. As you can see, this earlier triple top pattern was causing technical traders to be bearish. Looks like BTC is forming the shampoo pattern and right now is in the process of breaking down. I'm gonna call it a triple tops rather than a shampoo pattern.
Line here, line there, lines everywhere.
And another trader, Bitcoin update. Let's play a game. Find all the bearish patterns, lost support, head and shoulder or triple top, ascending wedge. Damn, Shane. Remember how I was saying this was a bear trap? Some bears got locked up and they won't let them out. Because this pattern may be a triple bottom and not a top. Uh-oh, the bears, you scared yet?
The bears. The bears.
3 clear bottoms, and after that, according to my TA Tyler analysis, it means up. A bullish divergence into the last hurrah of this cryptocurrency cycle. The last hurrah? What do you mean, Chico? Well, the anatomy of a bubble shows that right after the bear trap, we lead right into the mania phase. The markets go wild. So the big question is this: if we do keep pushing up bullish, what will be the top for this cycle? Well, the popular analyst Willy Woo has been putting his prediction for the top between 200K to 300K at the end of this year. Since December of last year, he was saying that, and he recently reiterated that point in April of this year.
And so currently that top target is launching upwards, and at the start of this year, January, it was zoning into a area of $200,000 to $300,000 by December. And December of this year is typical to what we would expect for the end of a bull market. If we get that, not saying that will happen this time around, but if we do top out in December, that target now is lifted to above 300,000 because the trajectory of that upper band of that moving average.
But 300K by December is a tad bit crazy bullish to me. Why? Well, from the last cycle's top to top, end of 2013 to end of 2017, for the sake of math, we will call it 1,000 to 20,000. That is a 20x. The cycle before that, 2011 to 2013. For the sake of math, we will say from $10 to $1,000, a 100x. From 100x to a 20x, that is an 80% decrease in multipliers through the cycles. So if we say from the end of 2017's 20,000 to December 2021, we hit 300,000, that would be a 15x. From a 20x to a 15x from this cycle to cycle would only be a 25% decrease. I don't know about that. I'm sticking to the Chico guns. The top for this cycle will be between 100K to 200K by December 2021. That is and has been my prediction for a long time. But if I had to give you a specific number and day, how about right here, 150K by December 15th, 2021. But what happens after the mania phase and peak? Another brutal bear market, and this one is going to be even more brutal than those in the past. Why? 2 words: Tether and Binance. If you didn't know, Tether is making waves, which you probably didn't because no one else is talking about it. Although the Financial Times did put out an article on it titled Tether's Commercial Paper Disclosure Places It Among Global Giants. And the article states, disclosures from cryptocurrency provider Tether suggest it has become one of the world's largest investors in the US commercial paper market, rubbing shoulders with the likes of fund managers Vanguard and BlackRock, and dwarfing the investments of tech giants like Google and Apple, according to estimates from JP Morgan. Yeah, the Tether company, which is registered in Hong Kong yet no one can find their physical building, that supposedly only has 11 employees, is supposedly managing $30 billion plus commercial paper exposure, which takes others like Vanguard and BlackRock hundreds upon thousands of employees. Chico calls obvious bullcrap, and that's not it. Bennett Tomlin, researcher and critic of Tether, put out a blog article to explain just how big Tether is. He said, I have been following Tether for about 3.5 years, and I still struggle to really grasp how large it is. So let's start with the basics. Currently, on June 10th, 2021, Tether has just about 63 billion tethers. There are also a negligible 40 million euro tethers and a negligible 20 million offshore yuan tether. There is somewhat more meaningful 85,417 ounces of gold for Tether Gold. All three of the other forms of Tether are largely meaningless compared to dollar tethers. Tether currently has approximately 2 billion less than the Madoff fraud at its peaks. Based on their average printing so far in 2021, they should cross over it in 8 days. Yes, they are about to cross the Madoff peak, and Madoff was the biggest pyramid Ponzi scheme in the history of the US, a scam to dupe investors. Is Tether following in Madoff's steps? Are they just one big hustle and bustle who are taking advantage of a money printer to the fullest? Well, if they are, like some say, who is the #1 culprit facilitating much of the trading of these tokens, USDT? The Tether Rich List shows one wallet from Binance holding nearly 17 billion USDT, and many of those unnamed wallets with 1 billion plus are also Binance's. They are the #1 facilitator of the tokens. And I believe Tether isn't going to go down first. It's the facilitator, as they are already under investigation. March 12th, it was announced that the CFTC was probing Binance over US customers being able to trade derivatives on their exchange. Absolutely ridiculous derivatives too, like 125x leverage. Going to recent stats on CoinGecko, we can see futures volume for Binance is crazy high, nearly 70 billion 24 hours. But 31 billion of that is coming from BTC USDT futures, aka 44% is from one Tether pair alone. If you add up the other Tether pairs from the other altcoins, Ethereum, XRP, and more, Tether pairs are making up nearly 70% of Binance's volume. It's a Tether derivatives exchange through and through. The CFTC probe on the Nance will eventually show US traders were allowed to trade there. Everyone in the industry knows that went down, it wasn't a secret. So when will the initial hit for Binance come? Well, luckily we have an example to go by. BitMEX. July of 2019, the old #1 futures exchange was probed too, announced across the media airwaves. It was over 1 year later, October of 2020, when the official charges were announced. 1 year and 3 months to take down BitMEX. I would think since the CFTC knows what they are looking for now, the Binance investigation will wrap up quicker. March 2021, the probe announced by Binance. I predict it will take them only 8 to 9 months to announce charges against Binance and close up the probe. That puts it around December of this year, and that will pop the bubble of this last hurrah. The writing on the wall that it's coming is kinda leaking too. 2 days ago it was announced one of Binance's biggest and trusted banking partners, Silvergate, was dropping out. Now, what in the heck is a US bank based in La Jolla, California doing with Binance? US customers aren't supposed to be trading there. Of course Silvergate is dropping as the heat from regulators heats up. And then, right as Silvergate news drops, more bad news for the Nance. Their chief finance officer, CFO, has abruptly left the company, and no one knows his whereabouts, so they can ask him questions about the departure. Something stinks, and it's going to come to a head at the end of the year. Cheers, I'll see you next time.